Next, let's take this idea of solving systems of linear and quadratic equations and figure out how do we do this with graphing. As we know from previous experience, graphing is kind of an inefficient way of doing this, but I just want to show it to you, and you're going to practice it a couple times just so you see what it looks like, because that's kind of where the justification for doing it algebraically comes from. So it's very helpful if you know it. So what we're going to do is we're going to work through two examples on Alex, and these are going to look a lot like what your homework's going to look like. Okay, so I'm on Alex here. Maybe I can make this bigger. Okay. All right, so we're on Alex, solving system assignments. Okay, so graph the system below, then write its solution. So looking at these two equations, obviously this first one is my quadratic, and the second one is my linear equation. So let's graph the linear first. So what I remember from graphing linear equations is let's start by graphing the y-intercept. So we have -1, so I'm going to go down to -1. I'm going to put a point. And then we're going to go, our slope is -2, so it goes down 2 and over 1. So 1, 2, and then over 1. Put a point, grab your line tool. I am terrible with these things, so if I can do it, you can do it. So there we go. Now what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to graph our parabola, and we know from graphing the parabola that you need 5 points to do that. So let's think about this, and let's put this in vertex form. All right, because it's usually x minus something squared, and then this number off here would be your y. So I know that I'm going to have it's going to be a -5 and then x minus something. Well, it's not showing anything, so it must be 0. So my vertex is going to be at the point 0, -5. So let's grab this and let's go down here and put a point there. All right. Next, let's figure out some points where it crosses the x and the y-axis, if those are easy enough to do. So I'm looking at this, and if I put in, if I make this equal to each other, so 2x squared equals 5, you're going to have 5 halves and then take the square root of that. That's not going to be easy, so we're not going to do that. So let's just put some numbers in. So let's put 1. Let's put 1 and -1 in, and remember this is going to look like a bell, and our axis of symmetry is going to be along here, and this is going to open upwards because it's positive, right? And we know that much. So if I put 1 in, I have 2 minus 5, right? 2 times 1, 1 squared is 1, 2 times 1 is 2, minus 5, so I get -3. So I'm going to get the point 1, -3. I'm going to put a point, so I can already see where it's going to share a point with that, right? And then I'm going to have another point over here where it's the mirror opposite of it. All right, so let's put 2 in. 2 squared is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 minus 5 is 3. So we're going to go up to the point 2, 3, which is right here. And then we're going to mirror that point to -3. And we're going to grab our graph. I don't know if I've ever used this before. We'll put it there, choosing how the curve opens. All right, well, how does it open? All right, so that's placing another point. So we're going to go up to here. We'll hit that, and then it looks like then our solutions would be these point right here and right here, these points. So it looks like 1, -3, and then the point -2, 3. So let's put those in. So 1, -3, and then we want this, or xy equals, and we said what, -2, 3, -2, 3, and then check. And there we go. All right, so let's try one more. All right, if the video is a little too long for you to watch and you feel like you got the hang of it, then by all means stop the video, but I'm going to do one more problem for those of you that want to see it. All right, so the next problem, let's see what we got here. And full disclaimer, I have not looked at these problems, so I am seeing this for the first time. 2x minus 2. All right, so let's do the linear one, which is the top one first. My y-intercept is -2, and my slope is 2, so that's up 2 over 1. Up 2 over 1. There's my line right there. 2x squared minus 6. This is going to look a lot like that last one we did. All right, I kind of wish we would have had something a little different, but we don't. My vertex for this one is going to be, my x-coordinate is going to be 0 because there's nothing here. And then my y-coordinate is going to be -6. So we're going to go down to 0, -6. All right, let's put some points in. All right, so let's put in the point 1. So 1 squared is 1 times 2 is 2. And then 2 minus 6 is -4. Right, so I'm going to have 2, and I know this is going to open upward again because this is positive, and it's going to be a steep opener because everything's doubled by that 2. All right, and now if I put 2 in, that's going to give me 8 over here because 2 squared is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 minus 6 is 2. So I have the point 2, 2, and then I have the point 2, -2. Let's grab our vertex. All right. Curve opens this way, and now I'm an expert at this. All right, so let's change this to this. All right, so let's put in our first one. So my first solution is going to be this point right down here. So the point that would be the point -1, -4. I mean, this really is pretty straightforward. It's just where they meet, right? And then this one would be the point 2, 2. So those are my two solutions. And yeah, so play around with these, try these, see how you do. You can always use Desmos to check your answer before you click submit on this when you're doing these. Desmos is great because it doesn't make you work to plot the graph. It just graphs it for you if you put it in. But I really do think you should figure out how to graph these. All right, so thanks for watching and good luck.